Just want to do a quick mid-week review. This is Mike Hamilton for TradeEasyway.com on Tuesday evening. That's the evening in the UK, but we're an hour and a half off the close. So bear that in mind as we're looking through these charts, because there's an hour and a half to go before the equity market shut in the US. Basically, just here to warn you about extreme volatility in these markets. If you are day trading having a tough time, stand aside, because I've not seen volatility like this since autumn '08. So we've got dollar holding the highs, moving sideways, waiting for the 8-day moving average to come up. Another safe haven, bonds holding up, could easily, waiting till the 8 EMA comes across and moving up. Gold, shooting star, but I'm not going to short this. I think it's going to consolidate and wait till the moving average comes up. There is a lot of fear in these markets, guys. Euro yen, this is being bought, it's coming off the 50 EMA, a sign of fear in the markets. Let's have a look at the oil. It's attempting to hold the 80 EMA after this massive sell-off on Friday. It's just clinging on. I think with volatility here, unless there's any political tension with Israel, I'm not expecting this to move up to the upside. Oil has been incredibly volatile today. These equity markets, all pullbacks are being bought. Bear in mind we're still an hour and a half off the close. Pullbacks are being bought. And it's not often you see the Nasdaq weaker than the other two markets. So the short to yesterday's seller's bar was shorted. So a pullback to yesterday's seller's bar was shorted, and we are still getting down to these lows down here. So extreme volatility. So a quick look at the currencies. This Aussie dollar, if the Aussie dollar can close just a little bit higher and engulf this could mean the Aussie dollar is going to have a double bottom and move to the upside. Let's see how this closes tonight, and if it does, I would buy a pullback to this buyer's bar. Canadian dollar, a lot of congestion above, although if it does close above this 200 EMA, that could be a sign that we are seeing a reverse in the Canadian dollar. British pound, still very, very weak. All pullbacks to the sellers bars are being shorted. Swissy, leave well alone. There's lots of talk in the markets of this being supported by Swiss banks, a lot of intervention. So although there have been some lovely moves, they are often cancelled. So stay aside of the Swiss franc. Euro just consolidating to the 8-day moving average comes across. Now, very little setting up on these charts for the forex. If this euro pound bar does engulf this, then I would buy a pullback to 82.70 and try and get back to this resistance up here, 84.24. No other setups. Apparently, this one is interesting me. This is US dollar yen. It's closing below this trend line if we close here, but it's a very, very hesitant bar. No clear sell-off despite this pullback to 50 EMA. I shorted this today, took half my profits off, and I suspect I'm going to get stopped out in the second half. US Swissy, not touching that, not interested. US dollar CAD, again, very volatile. Tried to trade it in 60 minutes a couple of times today, got stopped out twice. So just standing aside, waiting to see what this wants to do. Right, these pound pairs, that one has engulfed, so that was pound Aussie dollar, was a nice trend line breakout, but we got an engulfing bar which could reverse that. So we'll see how that one finishes. If that does engulf it, I'm just going to stand aside and wait and see what happens when it gets down to the 50. Pound CAD, very, very nice short. This is the only one that I think is a swing trade, a worthwhile swing trade setup coming up. I would short a pullback to this pound CAD tomorrow. Been waiting on this to see which way this will break. got a lot of resistance there at 52.63. Yesterday's low was 52.42. I would short a pullback if I can get it to 152.43, but it's moving very, very quickly to the downside. Pound yen, not touching that. Pound Swissy, that's a big seller's bar. So if it closes above the 8 EMA, sorry, the 50 EMA, I would personally leave it. I'll just stand aside of that one. I think these Swissy pairs are not worthwhile. Pound New Zealand dollar, just leaving that, and there's the pound. So I hope that helps. If you are not in any of these forex pairs, I would stand aside. Apart from that pound CAD, that looks interesting. If you are in some shorts that are running, just protect your positions, but stop 2 bars back, and just be very, very careful with stocks. Do your scans very carefully and see if you can get some entries in some shorts in some of the sectors that are performing very well, such as financials. Beware of the oil stocks, they're very whippy as oil is trying to base and move to the upside. Hope that helps. Any questions, email me as usual. Thanks very much, guys. See you soon.